Hello and welcome to this pit stop for Cusco, designed by Michael Kiesling and Wolfgang Kramer, coming from Super Meeple and Keep Exploring Games. It's for 2 to 4 players, taking around 90 minutes to play. In Cusco, each of the players is a great Incan dignitary, and they are looking to develop the land just north of Cusco by planting crops, establishing villages and turning villages into cities by building great temples in there in order to score the most points and be the winner at the end of the game. Now, on each player's turn, they're going to get 6 action points to take various actions. The first action they must do, and this takes one of their action points, is they must place a terrain tile onto the board. Now, most terrain tiles come as 3 here, and you see that there's 2 crop areas and 1 village area. Now, you can place it anywhere on the board. It doesn't even have to connect to any other tile that's already been placed. You can place it obviously adjacent to other tiles. You can place it even overlapping the edge of the board, but it costs you 1 extra action point for each hex that overlaps the edge of the Cuzco area. You can place it on top. Now, when you place it on top, what you can't do is mirror exactly the shape of the tile underneath it. So if you can see there with this tile, I couldn't place it directly like that, but I could place it up like that, creating levels. And a lot of the control and being able to take action and score points in the game is to create these levels of height and then have your Incans on the highest levels in order to take various actions around there. Now, there are other types of terrain you can put onto the board. You can place a pond tile, but not for your initial move. And ponds look like that. Now, they can go anywhere. They can go adjacent to ponds. What they can never do is go on top of land, and land can never go on top of ponds. And also, ponds can't go along the edge of the board. We can't pop them in those spaces, for example. And they will give you point scoring opportunities if you can control ponds when they get completely surrounded. Now, I said that you can surround these ponds to score points. If this pond did get surrounded here, whoever has got control of the area around the pond is then going to score the points. It's 3 points per pond area. And this control idea is that there's a blue Incan here on the very first level, but there's a yellow one on the second level. And whoever's got the Inca at the highest level is going to control this area. In this case, yellow would score 3 points for doing that. I said mostly you're going to put these 3 tile things down. That's because each player's got a limited supply of 2 and indeed 1 hexagon tiles, which they can use instead of these 3 ones, either for their normal action or for that obligatory first action to put a tile on the board. So it's all well and good that we're going to build up these crops and these village areas, but we need to get our Incans onto the board in order to score points. How are we going to do that? It's very easy. If you come on from the jungle side, it's just going to cost you 1 point and you put that Incan into play. If you come on from the mountain side of the board, it's going to cost you 2 of your action points and you put that into play as well. We can move these Incans around the board. Now, if you move on terrain of the same type, that doesn't cost you anything. So we can whiz this fella around here and move them to any of these areas. What you can never do is, you can't go through an Incan of another player. You can't go through a temple. And also, if you wish to change the type of terrain you're on, so for this Incan, if you want to put it into this village, that's going to cost you 1 action point for each time you change terrain type, but not level. Levels are free to move up and down. So why are we trying to do this, and what can we do, in fact, to score points? Well, if we have this Incan in here, and we create a little village for them, they're going to be able to build a temple. Now, the minimum size of a village to build a temple is to have 2 village tiles in there. In this case, we've got 4. Now, this player controls this area because there's no other Incas in there. Again, similarly, you'd look for the highest one up and then you count down from there. And this Incan now gets to build a temple. They can build a 4-value temple and pop it in there for 1 action point. And then this player is going to score half the value of the temple, which is going to be 2 points to them. And you always put the extra levels in whenever you're building up a temple, or indeed expanding it. So how do we expand a temple? Well, any temple can be expanded if the city that it's now in, and villages become cities by building a temple, has got more tiles than the level of it. So in this case, this is a level 4 temple. You can't see it because it's got a little sun token on there, which we'll discuss. But this is a level 6 area. Now, the white player's got 2 Incans in there, but that doesn't matter because it's the yellow player who's in control because they're higher up. So only the yellow player can take this action and they can expand this temple. We take off that sun token and we put a 6 on there. And yellow would score 3 points, again, half the new value of the temple for doing that. Now, the final action you can take is for 1 or 2 points, you can draw 1 or 2 of these festival cards we can see up here and take them into your hand. Now, why might you do that and why are we expanding and what's that sun token all about? At the end of each player's turn, for any city, which means it has to have a temple, that doesn't have a sun token on it, that they have got control of, they may choose to have a festival in one of them. So on red player's turn, they can have a festival here, where this 4-value temple is. They're by themselves. All they have to do is be able to play one festival card that matches either of the icons over here, which are face up on top of the discard pile. And they'd simply turn that over and say, there's one green card, no one can challenge them, and they would score 2 points because it's a level 4 temple. And then they would pop that sun token on there. You can't have another festival in there until that temple gets expanded. The highest level of a temple is 10, so you can see there can never be another festival in this level 10 temple because it's got a sun token on there. If we came down to this new level 6 temple we've got, there are 2 players who are present in this city, but only yellow can declare the festival. And it's slightly different then, you go into sort of a bidding war. So yellow can say, right, I'm playing a red, you can play a red or a green currently, and then white might respond by playing 2. And then maybe yellow will respond by playing. Now at any point, once we've gone at least once around the table, if all the players who are remaining in the bidding are level with each other, they can decide to agree and have a mutual festival, and they'll both score points. And in this case, we've got this handy chart here that tells us a level 6 temple, everyone will score 2 points. Or one of the players could continue on, maybe even white who didn't declare the festival, and can play more, and they will take the 3 points all for themselves. You'd put the sun token up there. And again, you can't have another festival there until that gets expanded to a level 8 or 10 by expanding out the terrain and having more village tiles within that city. Gameplay is going to continue until the stack of level 3 tiles is depleted. And then everyone's going to get one more turn in which they do their final scoring at the end of their turn. So you can't impact anyone who's gone before you. And then at the end, you're going to see who scored the most points. And whoever has is going to be the winner of Cusco. This has been a Game Pit Stop. For more videos of this, please check out our YouTube channel. If you look in the comments below the description, you'll see more links to Cusco coverage from other people in the board gaming world. And please check out the Game Pit podcast for more in-depth coverage of gaming. Thanks.